a fascinating and current topic in performance management for IT professional is the integration of spiritual intelligence into performance evaluations and management practices. This approach emphasizes the importance of aligning personal values with organizational goals and fostering a sense of purpose, enhancing overall well-being. Spiritual intelligence helps individuals understand their true selves and their integration SI into performance management, which can lead to higher job satisfaction, improved employee performance, and a more harmonious work environment. And this holistic approach can help us in our stress management, self-motivation, and also how to make work-life balance. So in today's webinar, we'll discuss more. So before that, let us know about Brahma Kumaris. Prajapita Brahma Kumari Ishwari Vishwavidyalaya is a worldwide spiritual movement dedicated to personal transformation and world renewal. It's founded in 1937 in Hyderabad, Sindh, then a part of Undivided India by Prajapita Brahma. So Brahma Kumaris has spread to over 140 countries in 5 continents of the world and had an extensive impact on all sections of the society. It is working as an international NGO associated with the United Nations, Department of Public Relations. The organization is committed to help individuals transform themselves based on the understanding of their true spiritual identity, which help them in their personal and professional life. So, in Brahma Kumaris, we have Raj Yoga Education and Research Foundation, RERF, which executes its various responsibilities with the help of 20 wings. And in those 20 wings, one wing is IT wing of RERF, that is mainly for IT professional. And here main objective is to establish the soul consciousness, universal brotherhood, and to promote literacy and encourage scientific research in Raj Yoga to help the IT professionals in their professional life. It introduced the basic concept of meditation and spirituality in every IT professional's life, and we have conducted many sessions online and offline in many organizations, IT organizations. So to know more about our IT wing, you can explore in our website itwing.org, and to know more about Brahma Kumaris, you can visit our website brahmakumaris.com. So today we have our speaker, Sister Vidhatri. She is associated with Brahma Kumaris since 2008. She has done BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering from NIT Surat. She has taken many sessions in corporate sectors. She has given lectures and talks in various government organizations as well. So in today's topic, she will explain us how we can understand this SI and imbibe in our life. So to know more, let's welcome Sister Vidhatri. Welcome, sister. Welcome to today's webinar.
Thank you. Thank you.
Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, and Om Shanti. Good evening in India, maybe good morning in some other country, good night in some other, good afternoon in some other country. I think I'm audible. Let me know if I have to speak louder.
Yeah, you are audible, sister.
Okay, thank you. So today we are together to discuss about a very important aspect of our modern life. Intelligence is the mark of human beings. This is what makes us special from the rest of the species. And that too, what type of intelligence? right? So spiritual intelligence is something which is very, very unique to human race, human species. And now it is not just unique, it is also rare. So what is exactly this uniqueness? How can this transform our lives? How can this transform our relationships? How can this transform our performance? How can spirituality translate into success? Today is the topic in which we are going to discuss the same. So let me also discuss with you while sharing some of my views through presentation. So I hope I'll be able to present.
Yes, sister, you can.
Thank you. So integrating spiritual intelligence into performance management. As we discuss this topic, you can also interact on chat. All those who are connected through Zoom, those who are listening to through live streaming, can express their views in live chat. Those who are connected through Zoom, you can ask questions and share your views through Zoom chat. So, first of all, what is spiritual quotient or spiritual intelligence? So, as we are all aware, intelligence has been categorized as three. No, it is intelligence quotient, emotional quotient, and spiritual quotient. All these three together make what is called intelligence. These are the three quotient which are the mark of intelligence. We know a lot about IQ, right? IQ is the ability to comprehend complex situations, to ask questions and get answers of why it is happening, what is happening, why is this happening, when will this happen, where will this happen. So your ability, your mind's ability to comprehend complex situations, that is known as IQ. Whereas at one point of time, IQ was considered to be very, very important. You should be able to comprehend complex ideas. You should be able to comprehend situations. You should be able to analyze situations. Only then you will get a good job. Only then you will be considered to be intelligent. Oh, you know the answers of why, you know the answers of what, you know everything in the world, you are an intelligent person. This used to be in some before some few years, this was supposed to be very important mark of intelligence, but then gradually it was found that people who have such good IQ, and with those expectations from such a person having a good IQ, when they are given a particular job, when they are given a particular task to perform, somehow that intelligence and that performance is not of the same level. What is going wrong? Why are people with higher IQs committing suicide? Why are people with higher IQs going into depression? Why is the relationship, why are the marriages of very intelligent people breaking? Why are they not successful? Even if they're having such a good IQ, why are they not successful? Then it was found that there is something also known as emotional quotient, which they are lacking. So you will be given a situation, you are able to comprehend situations very well. But in those situations, if you are told to work with somebody else, then you're not able to work with them. इनके साथ काम नहीं करो. I will not work with them. I can work independently. I will not work with them. Why is this person in my team? And you're so good in analyzing situations, you can even analyze that person. But after knowing everything about that person, after knowing what triggers him, what triggers you are still not able to cope up, you're still not able to adjust. And great works are not achieved by individuals, they are achieved by teams. There could be an individual leading it, but there has to be a team to perform it. And even if in the initial go you're able to lead and you're able to perform it yourself, but to keep that sustained, you need people who join you in that work. And when it comes to dealing with people, if we fail, that is considered to be lack of EQ, emotional quotient. So, how to get both of them at the same time? For that, the concept of SQ was introduced. So, you may be hired due to a good IQ, you may be promoted due to a good EQ, but you will feel satisfied when you have a good SQ. So SQ, where do the three meet? So SQ is the fulcrum which balances IQ and EQ. SQ is the blending agent. It is the mixing agent. When you have to mix two things together, you need a blending agent. So EQ and IQ, they meet at SQ. And SQ, or spiritual intelligence, is that which balances both of these sides. It brings out the balance of wisdom and creativity. Because wisdom comes from experience and knowledge. And creativity is something which you have never explored and you're going to do it now. So SQ means a balance between wisdom, what we know, and creativity, what we want to explore. SQ means a balance of respect for others and self-respect for yourself. SQ means a balance of love and law. SQ means the balance of interdependence and independence. Too high on this side or too low on this side, you would go imbalanced. If you are too high on one side, maybe you are too good at emotional dealings, but that might turn out to be your weakness. If you cannot comprehend in what situation I need which emotion. And too high on IQ, you exactly know what to do, but low on EQ, you can't do that. Does not give the desired results, does not give birth to the desired actions at all. So SQ is where these two streams come and meet and creates a balance, because balance is what is needed. So why do we need spiritual tools or spiritual intelligence? What is the purpose of integration of spiritual intelligence for performance management? So first of all, you need spiritual intelligence to have a positive impact on the area of influence. If you want to have a positive impact on somebody, it is not merely what you instruct them to do. You do this, you do this, you do this, and you feel people are doing what I'm telling, I have a good influence over them. They do what I say. If they do what you say, it is a good sign of influence. But biologically, it has been proven that 90% of your neurons are the cells in your brain. 90% of your neurons are fired visually. If you tell somebody to do something, and if you should demonstrate them the other way, what do you think? You can reply to me on the chat. What do you think are they most likely to do? If you tell them to do something, but you yourself don't do it, you do the opposite. What do you think are people more likely to do? What you say or what you do? What do you think? You can reply on the chat. All those who have joined on the Zoom. I see good people joined over Zoom.
Yeah, we would request all participants to respond in chat.
Let us make this session interactive.
Yeah. sister, they are responding.
Yes, it will have a less or minimal impact. What will have a lesser impact? Okay, let me make the task simple for you. You need not write the whole thing. Option 1 is they do what you say, and option 2 is they do what they watch you doing. So just write 1 or 2 in the chat. Simple as that. One is they do what you say, and option 2 is they do what they see you doing. So all of you are writing too. So we are all experienced, right? People do not do what we say. And we keep on complaining, they don't listen to me. They don't listen to me. They will not listen to you. They will only listen to you if you are saying what you have done. If you haven't done and you keep on saying, they will not listen to you because they are watching you doing it. So it is said values are not taught, values are caught. For example, you have a small kid at home. I don't know how many of you have, but imagine you have a small kid at home. May not be yours, maybe your elder brother's or sister's child, but you have a small kid at home. And on a weekend, you are there at home, the kid is there at home. You are busy doing some of your pending works of the whole week this week, and you're very engrossed in that. And the child comes up with your mobile phone and says, Mama or Papa or Bua or whatever, auntie ka phone hai, uncle ka phone hai, somebody is calling you and he's brought your phone. And you see, oh, this person will eat up my whole time. If I start talking to him at this hour, he will eat up my own time. I'm too occupied in doing something. I'll speak to them later. So you tell the child, oh, just tell them that I am busy or I'm not at home and I'll speak to you later. And the child tells, sometimes the child is so innocent, the child could say, Mummy keh rahi hai, mummy ghar bhi nahi hai. Mother is saying that mummy is saying mummy is not at home. Sometimes the child could be so innocent. Sometimes the child is a bit smart and they will say that mama is not at home and she'll call you back later. Now, in your dictionary, you might have many words for this. One of the words is excuse, one of the words is harmless lie. But the child's dictionary is not so huge. What is this for the child? Does the child know the difference between excuse and lie? No. If you are at home and you said you're not at home, this is a plain lie. And this very child, day in and day out, listens through you that honesty is the best policy, that you should never lie to anybody. Jhoot bolna paap hai. To lie is the greatest sin. This is all what he hears or she hears. And what they see right now is that you have not just yourself spoken, but you also made the child speak a plain white lie. And when this child grows up, what will this child learn? And this happens so frequently at our homes. Now, what will this child learn? This child will learn to lie. So, what has made an impact on the child? Not what you said, that honesty is the best policy, but what you actually did, telling a lie. So, for us to have a positive impact on others who are our area of influence, we need to actually work with our virtues. And to work with virtues, you must know your virtues. You must practice your virtues. And to know your worth and virtues and practice that is spirituality. So without spirituality, you cannot actually have a positive impact on people around you. And for good performance, it is not just you who are struggling for a good performance. For good performance, you need teamwork. The whole team to perform better. And for the team to perform better, you can be the guiding light. You can be the one who demonstrates what working with virtues is. You can be the one who can initiate this. And for that, you need spiritual intelligence. Another thing is 90% of our success in leadership is attributed to SQ. Why? Because leadership calls for knowing, seeing the unseen, hearing the unheard, unspoken, seeing beyond what is clearly visible. If one of your teammates, team members is not performing good, a leader can actually make out what could be the problem. Is the problem between two teammates, two team members, and that is affecting this particular team member? Or is this team member facing a problem at home? What might be the problem? And how can I, being a leader, address this problem and sort it out? But if you are not able to catch these signs, if you're so insensitive emotionally, if you're only concerned with results and deliverables, you might be getting a few deliverables and results on time initially. But when people start exhausting, when people start drying up, when they have no newness in job, when they have nothing new to work on, and when the competition within the team has increased, and there are people who are fighting against the back, behind the back, people who are leg pulling, at that time, if the leader is not spiritually awakened, if the leader cannot understand why is this happening and how can I actually tell them to see each other's goodness and cooperate, your team is going to doom. Your performance is going to decline. So 90% of your success in leadership is attributed to SQ. Mother Teresa once said, if you want to lead, ask yourself two questions. First of all, do you know your people whom you're about to lead? And second, do you love them? Why is loving your people important? Okay, knowing your people could be important, to know their skill sets, to know who can do which job better. Okay, knowing your people could be important for leadership. How is loving your people important in leadership? And despite their weaknesses, despite what they did with you last week, still to be loving is a very, very big achievement which comes through spiritual intelligence only. Otherwise, you start comparing, उसने तो ऐसा किया था, he did that, he said that, why should I do this? Why should I be the one who is initiating all the time? There are a lot of questions that come. So to love anybody unconditionally and to always be supportive, to always motivate them is actually a sign of good spiritual intelligence. Not everybody can do this, and not everybody can sustainably do this. You can do it once or twice, but you cannot do it your lifetime if you're not spiritually awakened. And why is this important? Loving your people, why is this important? So, for example, I am speaking to you and you can see my background. And you see, oh, this is not a good background, so shouldn't have used this. I have a better one, better option. She should have asked me, she should have, taken this from me. You may say anything for my background, but can you change it? Can you change it? No, you can't. But if I feel the same, oh, this is not good one, I can change it. Right? Why can't you change it? Maybe 10 people are saying it's not good, but 10 people can't change it. One person can change it. Why? Because it is my background. You do not have a right over something which belongs to somebody else. You only have a right to something which belongs to you. You can only change something which belongs to you. If your people do not belong to you, you cannot change them. For your people to change for you, you must first love them, accept them. Oh, you're good, you're the way you are. Oh, you are the best right now, the way you are, but you could become better. So you accept them how they are. Acceptance is a form of love and it is a spiritual value. True love cannot come without spirituality. True devotion and dedication towards a person, true loyalty cannot come without spirituality. You might not even be aware where you're using spirituality. Let me tell you that. You might be daily using spirituality without being aware that this is spirituality, what I just now used. So 90% of success in leadership is attributed to SQ. And SQ or spiritual intelligence tells you if this, maybe this is not my cup of tea, but that may be. It does not let you fall down. It does not let you get demotivated. Oh, I cannot do this thing. I'm not even good for this. This is not my cup of tea. What will I end up doing in my life? How will I do it? If this is not my cup of tea, maybe that is. Keep trying. Try and try and try till you succeed. If everyone can do it, why can't I? If nobody has done it, let me try. So a spiritually intelligent person understands that these success and failures are just a part of life. If I'm trying something and I'm failing in that, does not mean that I have failed. That effort of mine has failed. I am different from my effort. If something has failed, I have not failed. Okay, the task has failed. So when you are not a failure, maybe you're good for something else. Explore yourself. So this also is dependent on self-exploration. And then the last is, through strong EQ, you can acquire a good IQ or steer your EQ. And both are balanced at SQ. So if you do not have a good IQ, you can develop it. If you do not have a good SQ, you can again develop it. So many great people in the world, they have had history of a not so good IQ. Albert Einstein did not speak for 40 years. He was termed by his schoolmaster as waste of time, waste of energy. He told his mother, take your child back home. He will never be able to learn. This is not the way that he can learn. Take him back. So many other examples we have that if you do not have a good IQ, you can develop it. It's never too late to learn something new, but to have that ignition to learn, to have that desire to learn always on inside, you definitely need a good EQ. And to balance both of them, you need SQ, as we have already discussed. So spiritual intelligence is required for success, for positivity in life, for good relationships in life, for positive impact of people on people, to always try new things, move ahead in life, never stop learning, never sit back. So now finally, what is spirituality then? We have seen why spiritual quotient is important. We've seen how it is different, yet it is closely connected to IQ and EQ. Now let's understand what is spirituality. So spirituality means to know and to connect with the self and experience our true nature. Would you anytime allow your phone's battery to be so low, this low? You can respond by Y or N. Y means yes, N for no. Would you allow this to happen to your phone? No. As big as the phone, you have the charger always with you. You would never allow your phone's battery to go so low. When how can we allow our own mental battery to go low? What works more? Is your phone working more? Is your mind working more? What is working more? P for phone and M for mind. What is working more? Your mind is working tirelessly, continuously, and you're not feeding it. You're not giving it proper rest. You're not charging it. How can you expect the poor mind to still work for you? He would have gone to a court and filed a case against you. You take so much of care of your mobile phone that has so little role to play in your life. And your mind that has every role to play in your life is not given its due importance, is not given its due respect. You do not connect to yourself to recharge your mind. So, spirituality is to recharge yourself. To recharge yourself, not just your mind, but many more things. We'll understand what those are. So, recharge yourself to perform more. Now, let us ask ourselves a question. I'll show you two figures, two images, one on the left side of the screen, one on the right side of the screen. Answer in the chat, which one of these do you feel is stable, relatively stable? L for left, R for right. This is the left one and this is the right one. Which of these do you feel is relatively stabler? L or R? So, okay. What about others? So I have the majority going for the right one. Why now? Why do you feel, if you see closely, both are in the same situation? The first one is a big single rock. The second one, in fact, the right one, is one on top of the other three rocks. You find those three rocks stable and not one single rock. Why? Because as you are saying, most of you are saying and some of you are writing also, that the foundation, the base is stronger in the second one, the right one. So no matter how high or in how many pieces it is built, but if the base is stronger, it is stabler. Exactly the same for us. We might rise a lot, much more in our lives. We are rising higher, higher, and higher in your career, in your responsibilities, in the matters of name and fame and money and respect and love and whatever. You're rising high. May God take you to new heights. We wish you rise even higher day in and day out. But if you do not have a strong base, how safe or stable are you? Are you safe and stable? You're rising high, but without a strong foundation, without a strong base. You're very intelligent without an SQ. Will you be able to maintain your intelligence? Will you be able to maintain your strength? Will you be able to maintain your heights? You think the world is so generous to allow you to rise? Do you think only you have aspirations and others are just there to support you? They don't have their own aspirations? Do you think so? Can you already afford going higher without a strong base? You will topple down without a strong base. And this base is spiritual intelligence. Another way of understanding why we need spiritual intelligence. You see, this is a dynamic system. In dynamics, you have a concept of dynamic system in which the whole system changes, but there is something in the system that still remains stable. Everything around it can change, but that remains more or less the same. And that is called strange attractor. It seems as if everything is being attracted by that, but that is not being attracted by anything else. Everything else is changing, moving, but that is stable. That particular element of the whole dynamic system is called a strange attractor. Similarly, in life, everything around is changing. But in the midst of changing world, if you closely see, there is something that is truth that never changes. And who is that? This is our spiritual entity. So, how does it help me? How does understanding who you are, your spiritual entity, help you? Because when you know who you are, you also come to know what you are not. Most of the times, what we are not concerns us more than what we are. You know you are not this, but you want to be. So, if you know you are this, nothing can move you. But if you know that your identity is so fluctuating, every situation will give you fear. Oh, this might fluctuate my identity. This might change my identity. You either run away or you avoid or you come marching and trying to control the situation. Nothing works. Nothing works. Do not try to control situations. Try to be self-sovereign. Try to control yourself. When you have a negative thought coming, you sometimes find yourself drifting towards that negative thought more and more. अभी ये ना हो जाए, अभी वो ना हो जाए, फिर वो हो गया तो क्या होगा, ये नहीं हुआ तो क्या होगा, उसने देख लिया तो क्या होगा, everything. One negative thought opens gate for you being out of control then. So to be self-sovereign is to know who you are. Because if you know who you are and something that's not going to change, things or identity that you are not, even if they change, does not matter to you. For example, let me give you a practical example from your lives. So if you are working somewhere and your role has changed, your project has changed, something in your professional life has changed. If you're too attached to your professional life, any change over there will be a big change for you in your life, and you will not be, because you have identified yourself with that role. And if you do not have that role any longer, then you have a crisis. Who am I? If I'm not this, then who am I? Because you never asked yourself, who am I? Your roles were everything for you. Your relationships was everything for you. You never asked yourself, who am I if I do not have this role? Who am I if I do not have this relationship? And so you lose control over yourself and lose control over your life sometimes. So spirituality tells you who you truly are. And you understand that these things is, I am not all these things. I am this. I'm not this. I'm not this. I'm not this. So if this is changing, does not matter me. If this changes, it does not impact me. If this changes, does not impact me. I have to just allow this to be always maintained. Other things might change and they will change. So you don't try to control situations, but you try to control yourself. Right. So we have somebody who has commented that by developing spiritual quotient, you develop the prudence to know about the right and the wrong and to adapt to the never changing world. Because you know, what you are not will always change. So, thank you. So, that is what we are going to talk about now, understanding the laws and truth of life. So, for example, if I hold something, say, for example, I am holding a pen. This is a pen that I'm holding. Now, I'm holding this pen. If I happen to just lose the grip of this pen, what happens to it? If I am holding this pen and if I just lose the grip of this pen, what happens to it? You heard it, what happened? What happened to it? I was holding a pen. I lost the grip of the pen. What happened to it? It fell down. It falls down. It actually did. Why? Why did it fall down? Why did it fall down? What was the reason? I didn't throw it. No support. Okay. Because it didn't have any support. Okay. If I were on moon, then without support, what will happen? Okay. Gravity. Yes. So gravity is the reason that this pen fell down. If I lose the grip of this pen on moon, it won't fall down because there's no gravity there. Okay. So now you are nice, well-educated people who know about gravity. So you can understand the question, the answer to this question. Now tell me, if anybody who does not know what gravity is, if that person loses the grip of the pen, will the pen not fall down for him? Will it fall down? Yes or no? That person does not know about gravity. Still, yes, it will fall down. Why? Because whether you know the truth or not, the truth is still going to work. But when you know that this is the truth, you will not have questions about it. Oh, the pen fell down. It was gravity. Baat khatam. Full stop. The end. You will not question the law. You will not question the pen. You will not even question yourself. You will understand that this is what happened. First of all, if you know the truth, you will be cautious about it. And even if somehow the law happened, it worked, you will not have questions about it. You will say, okay, now let me think of what to do to mend this. Sometimes, do you have questions in your life like, why did this happen to me? I worked so hard. Why didn't I get this? I am so nice to them. Why are they not so nice to me? Why is this in my fate? Why is that not in my fate? Why is this person not doing anything and getting everything? Why am I doing everything and still getting so less? Do you have such questions in your life? Do you have such questions in your life? Yes. Only one? Everybody else is so satisfied? No questions? You're happy with the things, how things are? So if you have such questions in your life, it means there is a law working which we are not aware. There is a law working which we are not aware. So let us understand the law. Because if you understand the law, you know why things happening to you are happening. And you can now, and when we know the law, it's not just that we get satisfied and happy by what's happening. No, you can actually make the law work according to you to get the desired results. So it's like you know the formula of gravity. You know if this is the input, this will be the output. So to get a desired output, you can manipulate the inputs. You can change the inputs to get your desired output. This is what happens in life when you know spiritual laws. When you are spiritually intelligent, you know spiritual laws. How otherwise to become spiritually intelligent? What does spiritually intelligent mean? Spiritual intelligence means to understand the spiritual truth of life, to understand the spiritual laws that are working, and to make those laws work according to you. That because I want this output, this is the law, let me give this input now. You can play. You can get the desired results by changing your inputs. So, okay, you're happy now, but if you're happy just by chance, because maybe you're unconsciously going with the law, does not guarantee that you will always be happy. But if you know the law and you know how to be happy all the time, that is what is more important. And you know that in this equation, these are the variables that I can change, and this is the constant. You know, most of the times we do have a constant in laws of physics that has a particular value which does not change. Other variables you can change, but that constant remains a part of that formula always with that same value. So if you know that these are the variables and this is the constant, you understand you cannot change the constant. How is the other person behaving with me is a constant for me. I cannot change it. Let me not worry about changing them. वो ऐसे बात क्यों नहीं करता? If he does that, then only I'll do it. You're trying to change the constant. This is not spiritual intelligence. Spiritual intelligence tells you you cannot change how he works with you, how he speaks to you. You can only change how you respond to it. That is the variable of your life. That will give success. So Einstein said that you have to learn the rules of the game and then you have to play better than anybody else. We are playing in this game of life without knowing the rules, without knowing the spiritual laws. And you do not even realize when you're given a red card and thrown out of the court, go, you're given a penalty. You don't know how many penalties you might have paid or you might be paying. Why? Because you don't know. Why is this empire giving me this wild card every time? What have I done? Why is this happening to me? So you must play the game by knowing the rules. And ostrich mentality won't work. Just because I don't see, it won't affect me. Just because I don't believe in all these does not mean it will not affect you. Just because you don't understand gravity does not mean gravity will not work for you. मैं नहीं मानता ये सब कुछ. It's okay. That will not make the law stop working. It is still going to work. So understand these spiritual signs, spiritual laws, and make these spiritual tools work for you. To make them work for you and to understand how they work is spiritual intelligence. So there's a comment that spiritual laws assist us in experimenting with them in our practical lives and achieve results in form of success and how to deal with failures too. Yes, true. So I hope you have already experimented some of these spiritual laws. True. So to understand those spiritual laws is spiritual intelligence. To comprehend yourself, we have comprehended situations through IQ. We have comprehended people through EQ, but we haven't comprehended ourselves. And to comprehend yourself first, to know why your mood is not good today, to know why did you just speak like that when you did not want to know how to tell your mind to think positive. This is what comprehending yourself means. Sometimes you just say, you just speak, and then later you realize you shouldn't have said that. which means you haven't comprehended yourself nicely. So to understand what you're thinking, to understand what you're speaking, to know what you're feeling and why you're feeling that is to comprehend yourself. That is spiritual intelligence. And let me tell you, when you start comprehending yourselves, you can easily understand others. Why? By knowing yourself, you can understand everybody else more or less. Why? How many of you have undergone a blood test in your life at some point of time or the other? You can raise your hand or you can just write I in the chat so that I know that is there somebody who has never undergone a blood test in life. Okay, so many. Others, are we still listening? Okay. So, okay, yes, thank you. So if you have gone through this blood test procedure, is the whole blood from your body taken out and tested and then filled back? Is the whole blood taken out? So many liters of blood taken out, all the blood sucked out of your body, of your capillaries and arteries and tested and then pushed back? No, just a sample. Just a sample. Few mLs, limited. And those few drops on the slide can tell you about your whole blood. Similarly, in this whole world, you are just a sample. If you understand yourself well, you can understand everybody else. You are just a sample. You need not understand every individual. You only need to understand yourself. And you haven't understood yourself, you cannot understand anybody else. You need to understand yourself first. One drop is sufficient. You are that drop. To understand yourself is spiritual intelligence. You understand everybody. If you are coming back home on a hot and scorchy afternoon, what do you need? What do you need? The first thing, what do you need? If you are coming back home in summers, what do you need? Water. So because you know you need water, anybody coming to your home in similar afternoon, what will you offer them? The same. Because you know what you need, you know what others need. You need not ask everybody, "Bhai chahiye kya? Chahiye kya?" That we keep on asking, "Isko chahiye kya? Isko mujhse kya chahiye? What does this person want from me?" Sometimes it is so difficult to understand what do people expect. There's so many people coming to us and saying, we don't know what they expect out of us. You don't know what they expect from you because you don't know what you want. Your needs are the same. Our needs are the same. If all, our bodies, each one of us, all our bodies are made up of 5 elements. There's no 6th element involved in creating a body. So I know if I need water, they need water. If I need oxygen, they need oxygen. Because it's the same composition. Yet, there is so much of variety in the body. With those same 5 elements, you can create so many varieties. No two bodies on this earth are exactly the same, even though all bodies are made up of those 5 elements only. So you know their need, no matter how different you look. Similarly, the soul is made up of 7 qualities: knowledge, peace, purity, love, happiness, power, bliss. So if I know that I am made up of these qualities, even though the other person, the other soul, the other spiritual energy might be of a different characteristic, but they're also made up of these 7 qualities. So if you know who you are, if you know what you need, you know what the other person needs. And if you're able to fulfill those needs, those desires will be satiated. What happens right now, we do not know the need. So we try to fulfill their desires, and desires are not going to end. If one desire is fulfilled, and the other one will come up. And you'll try to now work on that new desire. Then by working very hard, you will fulfill that desire. Then the third will come up by that time. And the list never ends. And you feel that you have done everything you could do, but still the person is not satisfied. Why? Because you were only working on the desired level. The need was still there. And by fulfilling desires, the need does not get fulfilled. But by fulfilling the need, which is the foundation, all desires get fulfilled. It is just like if you have to water a plant, where do you water? Do you water the leaves or do you water the root? You water the roots, right? So, watering the root is fulfilling the need. Watering individual leaf is trying to fulfill their desires. So that's not, so if you understand who you are, your needs, you understand everybody else's need, you're able to fulfill them without effort. There's a question. What is the difference between spiritual quotient and emotional quotient? As emotional intelligence is understanding ourselves as well, yes. But emotional intelligence is understanding what you're feeling. Spiritual intelligence is to know why you are feeling what you are feeling. As I said, emotional intelligence is to comprehend behaviors, emotions, but spiritual intelligence is not just to understand what you're feeling and how to change them, but to completely change the very cause of that wrong emotion, negative emotion. So, by emotional intelligence, yes, there was some relief in the world who were very perplexed with why, as to why higher IQ is not giving good results. So yes, emotional quotient was a relief, but then it was found that emotional quotient also is not sufficient because we have understood very nicely this is wrong. Emotional quotient has told us this is wrong, this is right. But now, how to prevent doing wrong and how to actually start doing good? What can give you that inner strength to resist what is wrong and to do what is good? Who will give you that power? Then it was thought that there's something which is even higher than SQ which is needed, and that was, sorry, higher than EQ that's needed, and that was SQ. So spiritual tools tell us that the success formula of life is like A plus B equal to C. Now A is what we are. B is what we want. So we want to become C. Now in life, where is your focus majorly? Where do you focus majorly on? A, B, or C? A is what you are or who you are. B is what you want. And C is what you want to become. Where is your focus most of the times? C. Okay. Anybody else? C. Mostly C. If not C, then okay, I want this. B. I don't know why I want this, but I want this. So it could be B for some, it could be C for others. Now just imagine if your focus is on C and you know that to become C, you need B, and you are now day and night, you are working to get that B to become C. But in this process of B and C, you have forgotten A. A could be just one. But if you have forgotten that A and you get the whole of B, but without A in the equation, removing or forgetting A, you get the whole of B, will you become C? Without A, can you become C? No. This is what is happening exactly. Because you know what you want and you get everything eventually, but you're still not happy. You want to be happy? and you want this for your happiness, you get this, but you don't get happiness because in this whole process, you forget A. And to always be aware of this A, which means who am I, is spiritual intelligence. Without spiritual intelligence, performance cannot be achieved. I'm sorry. Because you can achieve B completely, but performance C can only be achieved when A is added to B, or rather, B is added to A. Without knowing A, without remembering A, removing A from the equation, your hard work, your perseverance, your B will not give you C. So value the self, value who you are. First of all, know who you are. So spiritual intelligence tells you that if you have these 10 roles and you are there at the center playing all these 10 roles, what could a few example of those roles could be? Maybe first role is you are a child of somebody, second is you have some child, so you are a parent to somebody, third role could be that you are siblings to somebody, fourth could be you are a spouse to somebody, fifth role could be you are someone's friend, sixth role could be in an office you are someone's colleague, seventh role could be in the same office you are someone's junior, eighth role could be in the same office you're someone's senior, ninth could be a particular religion that you follow, 10th could be any other social responsibilities that you have in the society. So a typical person in a day, minimum, it is trying to fulfill these 10 roles. Now, how does the day look like? You start with one role, jump to other, then to the next, then someone calls you, then you go there. And this is what by the end of the day you look like. Is it true? Do you think it's true for you? In the whole day, jumping from one role to other, listening to everybody, trying to make them satisfied, your day ends up like this many times. Could there be another model? Because one day all these roles will go and there'll be only I who's left at the end of the day. And then you will find nobody else. And some people, they get so afraid of being in their own company. They get so bored in their own company. Imagine if you can't enjoy your company, how can others enjoy your company? If you are so boring for yourself, how can you be interesting for others? So, another model of life could be this, where you are still at the center. You have still those 10 roles. You haven't cut down any roles. But now what you do is, you know who you are. You enter into the role, play your best part, come back to yourself. Okay, I was in that role. If the role was good, thanks to God. If the role wasn't, let me learn, let me be better next time. And then you go to another role. You don't mix up roles. After every role, you know that I am an actor. This role is not me. Which one of these do you think is better? The first is the mesh model, and this third is the star model. Which do you think is better? Mesh model or star model? Second one, the star model, right? And in the star model, another beauty is in the mesh model, if I tell you to add one more responsibility, what will happen to your mental state? Immediately there'll be resistance. Oh, I'm doing so much. Yes, confusion. I'm doing so much. I'm already occupied. You don't, nobody helps me. I'm the only one who is getting pissed off. I'm the only one who's getting so much, right? So total chaos. There'll be so much of resistance and so much of chaos and so much of, yeah, haywire. And in the second one, in the star model, if I tell you to add one more responsibility, How would that be? How would that be? No problem. As simple as that. So, a spiritually awakened person with a high spiritual intelligence who knows to connect with the self is always a responsible person. He can take up new responsibilities which others resist because they have time for themselves. Remember the first slide? They can recharge themselves so they can work better. If you only have those roles to drain you, life is not going to work like this. So, another thing is, so do not forget A, take time for yourself to unwind yourself and then keep life simple. Someone asked life, why are you so difficult and beyond our reach? Life smiled and replied, because you don't appreciate easy things. So I have to become difficult so that you appreciate me. Whatever you get simply, easily, you don't value that. So I have to become difficult. So appreciate small and easy things and things that you have, and life will be easy for you. To understand what I have that can make my life easier is spiritual intelligence. So, spiritual intelligence tells us that I am not this body, not this role, not this name, not what I have acquired, but I am an imperishable energy, a soul that is full of energy, that is a child of God, that has taken so many previous costumes like this human body and will continue to take so many other costumes. So even if something happens to this costume, yesterday I was at Rashtrapati Bhavan for Purple Fest. I'm not sure how many of you are aware about Purple Fest. So there's a ministry in the government. One of the departments of that ministry deals with the disabilities. So they are the people who are disabled or who are divyang. That particular department works for their welfare. So they have an annual program, an annual fest, in which they invite exhibitions from those physically abled people. They also invite exhibitions for those people, of those people who help such people. They have programs of different talents by such people. So it's a complete platform, it's a complete fest. So we were there at that fest yesterday. It was at Rashtrapati Bhavan in Delhi. And we also have such services. So we were displaying our services and people were coming and seeing. So there was one thing that we were telling people, and that was actually changing the way immediate how they look at themselves. People who were coming, people who were deformed, who did not even have had complete bodies, when they were coming to us and when we were telling them, you are not this body. The body might have imperfections, but you are not imperfect because you are not this body. You are an energy. The energy might have got this particular by chance. It's a chance, it's a karma that you have got this body, but you are not this body. Don't worry, you are not incomplete. And they were going back with smiles. Of course, not just this, we were making them experience what being a soul is, but they were going back with smiles. Because they said the whole life we were thinking, oh, I am not born, injustice has been done to me, why am I like this? But I am not this. This is the first time that we have heard that I am not this body. I am not this imperfection, I am perfect. They were in tears. They were going back happy. So we are not like that. We have so much, we are so better. But then, whatever it is, I am not this body, I am not this name, I am not this role. If at all something will happen, it will happen to the body. I am imperishable. Let me work for my own journey. That is spiritual intelligence. And when you're not afraid of losing something, you get everything. When you're afraid of losing, you're not ready to take risk. You're not ready to work. Oh, I'm this white sari. If I go in the kitchen like this, I'll get dirty. So when you know that you are so weak, you have fear. But when you know I am not this white sari, I have many such saris. If this gets stained, I'll wash it. If it gets torn, I'll stitch it. If it has become completely pathetic, I will discard, but I will take a new one. I'll get a new one. I have a new one. So this weakness does not stop me. So body is subject to wear and tear and loss and everything. I don't let that become my weakness because I'm not that. This wisdom is spiritual intelligence that helps you walk out bravely, confidently, with full of self-respect and see others just like you are. If you don't see your you know the imperfections of soul, of course, and you're working to correct it, but you do not see yourself as a bundle of mistakes or weakness. You know, weaknesses and bundles of mistakes happened by chance because you were ignorant of what you were doing. But now when you are become aware, you know how to change it, and you know how to change others also, how to help them change also. This is spiritual intelligence. So I can go on and on and on. This is our life. This is not a session. Spiritual intelligence is not just a session for us, it is our life. So I can go on and on, but if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Thank you so much, sister. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. I hope all the participants got benefit from this session. So, if anyone is having any questions, they can raise their hand or they can put on their questions on the chat box. We'll take it up. If you raise your hand, then we will unmute you. How to practice spiritual intelligence?
How to practice spiritual intelligence. Nice. So you are Jitendra
All the
Santani. So the moment I said Jitendra, if there is somebody else also with the name of Jitendra, and I'm calling the other person as Jitendra, you would start responding, right? How did this happen? How did this happen? Because so many times you were called by that name, Jitendra, Jitendra, Jitendra. So gradually, by listening your name again and again and again, this practice of responding when somebody called Jitendra became so obvious. Isn't it? Isn't it? You heard this name so many times and you related yourself with this name. So now this practice of responding when somebody calls out Jitendra has become so normal. Similarly, when you understand who you are and you constantly tell yourself who you are, responding to that identity also becomes natural. So, what is the practice here? To talk to yourself again and again and again, to tell yourself, this is who I am, this is who I am. I'm a peaceful soul. Things around cannot make me peaceless. I'm a powerful soul. I cannot lose hope in this situation. God is with me and God's child. I am not alone in this situation. When you tell yourself these things again and again and again, this is the practice you need to do to remind yourself, and of course, to get those powers constantly from God. So you have raised hand. You would like to clarify your question or ask further? You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, you can unmute yourself.
Thank you very much, sister. Uh, Myself and my Yugal, we are practicing this Raj Yoga meditation from almost 12 years. Now, today I got an opportunity. My 18 years old daughter, she is sitting with me. So, I mean, she got a lot of clarification on this. And I would like to thank you very much for such an insightful session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. One more question. How need will same for me and other?
Because you and everybody else on this earth, in whatever physical forms we are spiritual energies. And all spiritual energies are made up of peace. Every soul on this earth needs peace. Every soul on this earth needs love. Everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants to know the answers to the questions that they have. So, peace is common to us, love is common to us, happiness is common to us, respect is common to us, truth is common to us. This is what we are made up of. So, this is the need that is same for all. Now, how to experience peace could be different for you, for different for me. How to experience happiness could be different. What makes you happy could be different than what makes me happy. But the bottom line is that we both want to be happy by whatever means we have. So this is what I mean to say, that your needs are same as others. You both, or everybody needs peace, everybody needs love. So when you know that this is their need, you also come to know, how can I make them feel that?
Thank you, sister. Another question. How to build up willpower to discipline ourselves in building a strong hold of our spiritual aspect of our life?
Okay. So you need power to build up, right? So you have hand, you have muscles. How do you build muscles? By lifting again and again, making that muscle work, you strengthen it. So making your conscious work strengthens it. You can't just have your hand laying down and say, Mazboot banjana, strong banjana. So the more you practice, the more the muscle becomes stronger. Any skill, the more you practice, the more you become proficient in it. You have learned something and then you don't practice it, you lose that learning. In Hindi, there's a muhavra. If all of you understand Hindi, there's a muhavra in Hindi. It says, Paan gale, घोड़ा अड़े, बुद्धि विसर जाए, रोटी जले अंगार की, काको उपाय फेरते रहो. I'll explain this. Pan gale, pan, that pan leaf, how before it is given to you as pan, to keep the leaf fresh, what does the pan wala do? It puts the pan leaves on water. In a bowl of water, it puts those pan leaves. If you do not if you do not change the side, from one side, the leaf will get completely, galna. So if you do not change the side, ferna is like this. If you do not do this, pan gal jayega, pan gale. Ghoda, you are riding a horse and the horse is with its blinds. If you do not ferna, change the wheel of the horse when it is about to hit a wall, ghoda ad jayega. It will go and stop at the wall. So फेरते रहो, लगाम फेरते रहो. Whenever you have to turn the wheel. तो पान गले घोड़ा अड़े, बुद्धि विसर जाए. Buddhi, whatever you have learned, if you do not ferna, means revision in this case. If you do not revise whatever you have learned, you will forget it. तो फेरते रहो. And roti jale angar ki. You've kept roti on tawa. If you do not change the side, from that side it will get burnt. So for all these things to be in good shape and form, फेरते रहो. So buddhi bisar jaye. If you don't want to forget these things, keep remembering them, keep revising them.
Thank you, sister. We'll take last questions, and I request all the participants, if you are having any further query, please write to us in our mail ID bbsritwing@gmail.com. Last question is, how spiritual intelligence support resilience in the time of failure, and how it impact recovery process?
Resilience means to bounce back. Now, bounce back to what? If you don't know that if you have deviated so much, where to go back? If you do not know your origin, you will never be able to go back. So for resilience to work, for you, if something has demotivated you, for you to again get motivated, bounce back, you should know what keeps you motivated. You should know what is your strength. So you might have lost something. You might have lost your job, but you know you were not your job. So you can easily come back. Okay, I can do it next time. If you have failed in a relationship, you know you were not that relationship. So you can come back, you can bounce back. So resilience comes through spiritual intelligence, because spiritual intelligence tells you what you permanently are. And if you know this is my permanent identity, I have to go back to that identity every time I deviate from it. That going back to original, that going back to permanent is called resilience. And spiritual intelligence tells you that permanent identity of yours, where you can go back. So it tells you where to go and how to become resilient.
Thank you, sister. There is a godly invitation for all of you. Those who are new and yet to learn Raj Yoga meditations, we invite you to attend our 7-day basic Raj Yoga meditation course in your nearby meditation center. You can visit our location, central locator in our website, brahmakumaris.com. And also one more announcement is that we have a residential program in our Mount Abu, Gyan Sarovar, from 10th April to 14th April 2025. So we'll share you the link to register. So, take the benefit of this residential retreat. Okay. And now it's time to give vote of thanks. So I would request Brother Pitabas for vote of thanks. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Good evening, everyone. At the outset, I thank the Almighty Authority, the Supreme Father, Shiv Baba, for giving us this opportunity to deliberate on the topic dealing with the integration of spiritual intelligence into performance management. I like to thank our IT wing leaders, the chairperson of IT wing, Raj Yogini Brahma Kumari Asa Didiji, IT wing national coordinator, Raj Yogini Brahma Kumari Madhu Didiji, IT wing coordinator at headquarters, Raj Yogi Brahma Kumari Yaswant Bhaiji, who have been constantly providing the guidance and support. I also like to thank the regional leaders, the Raj Yogini Brahma Kumari Leena Didiji, head of Bhubaneswar Subzone, and Raj Yogini Brahma Kumari Golab Didiji, center in charge, Patia Bhubaneswar, who have been providing their required guidance and support. I like to thank the esteemed speaker, Brahma Kumari's sister Vidhatri, for giving her time for these sessions and conducting so wonderfully, giving a lot of insights about the spiritual intelligence. I think a lot of things got clarified, and people have also acknowledged the whatever the clarity, understanding they have received. Talking about the intelligence quotient, emotional quotient, and the spiritual quotient, there are what are the relationships and how does it work. And also the most important thing that I would see, the success formula. A plus B plus C. I'm sure all these learnings will help us to make our life better. Thank you, sister, for the wonderful session. At the same time, I would like to thank the hosting team, the sister Swapna, and all the organizing team members who have been supporting behind the scene to make this webinar successful. The most importantly, I would like to thank all of you, the participants who have taken the time from their busy schedules to join this event. And I hope the learning from this sessions will go a long way in their career. Thank you again.
So
Thanks,
much.
Supreme
Thank you so much,
Mother
brother.
Shiv Baba, for the having these sessions. Om Shanti. Thank you all.
Om Shanti. Thank you, brother. We'll have a few minutes of meditation and remembrance of Almighty, and then we'll end the session. Thank you.
सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी, सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी, परम पिता को याद कर। सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी, परम पिता को याद कर। व्यर्थ न जाए जीवन अपना, व्यर्थ न जाए जीवन अपना, पल पल को आबाद कर। सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी, परम पिता को याद कर। आए कहाँ से क्यों है आए, सोचो क्या ले जाना है। आए कहाँ से क्यों है आए, सोचो क्या ले जाना है। जैसी करनी वैसी भरनी, कभी नहीं भुलाना है। शुभ संकल्पों की, शुभ संकल्पों की करो रचना, विश्व का कल्याण कर। व्यर्थ न जाए जीवन अपना, पल पल को आबाद कर।